What's up, amazing people? This is your virtual soul sister, and I am back with another witty video. Today's topic, I'm going to be talking about the benefits of solo travel for self-confidence. Are you the type of person where you have written out your travel goals, you have visualized it in your head, and you see exactly what it looks like, and now it's time for you to put in the action, and all these doubts, all these fears, and all these worries have crept up in your mind? Like, what am I going to do? Am I going to make it? Am I going to survive? All of those thoughts are perfectly normal when you are stepping out of your comfort zone, when you are stepping out of the familiar. Now, I just want to give you a little background about how I started solo travel. Solo travel for me happened when I was at a point in my life, which I would call the dark night of the soul. And I had quit a job that I could no longer stand, and I lost everything. I lost my car. Many people thought that I lost my mind, and I didn't know what I was going to do. And so I decided to try a new career, and I needed to go to a new state to do that. And so that was like my first beginning of doing my solo travel, is traveling within the U.S. Now, I would recommend, if you are thinking about solo travel and you have these big travel goals, and especially if you see yourself traveling abroad, I would recommend that you start doing small, simple things to get yourself adjusted to being by yourself, such as taking yourself out on a date, going to the movies by yourself, going to another state by yourself, going on a cruise by yourself. Simple things where you can get used to traveling by yourself. And then once you get to a comfort level of enjoying your own company, then you can expand your goals to something bigger and start traveling abroad. Because once you start traveling abroad, it's a whole nother set of rules that you got to play by, because you start going into different cultures and different laws. But I'm not going to go into that. But I just want to encourage you to start small like that. Now, I began and I just started doing states. And once I made the decision to go to another state to start a new life and start a new career, this started getting addicting, and that is where the self-confidence comes in when you start traveling solo, because you have to figure out things by yourself. And once you have to figure out, okay, how can I go get a new license in a different state? Or how do I find a place to go get a new phone or to get a new number? When you set that journey out to do those things and you accomplish it, it starts building confidence, because you're like, yes, I'm in this unfamiliar place and I figured it out and I did it, and it makes you feel good. It makes you be like, okay, if I can do this and I figured this out, then what else can I do? And that's how the confidence starts. You start going through these challenges and you have to figure out things, how the things work in a different state or a different place. And then once you figure out your problems and you find a solution, then it starts bringing more confidence. Another thing is that you start, it builds up your confidence because you start finding out more about you. When you're by yourself and then you see how strong you were, that you dealt with certain things or you figured out certain things, you become more self-aware. You're like, wow, I'm really strong. Or wow, I'm really courageous. Oh wow, I'm really brave to come out here and do things by myself. And so that's how, when you start solo traveling, it starts increasing your self-confidence because it allows you to start seeing different aspects of yourself. So a lot of the times, we might have like these limiting beliefs about ourselves, or we might have like this negative self-critic, about ourselves, or we feel like we're not doing enough. But what I think solo travel does and how it builds your confidence, because it allows you to see different parts of yourself that you didn't know that was there. And of course, you didn't know that it was there because you never had to use that muscle yet. You never had to pull out those tools yet because you were always in the safe and you were always in the familiar. And that is what a solo travel does. It shows you what you're made of. It really pushes you to become the best version of yourself. And that's why I fell in love with solo travel. Now, with solo travel, there's a lot of different reasons on why people don't solo travel. People are just afraid. People say that it's going to be lonely and it's going to be boring. But let me tell you, when you solo travel, it's not like you're alone by yourself the whole time. You are meeting people along the way. Like when I solo travel, no matter where I'm going, I end up, meeting dope people, dope souls along the way. We connect, we vibe, we have good conversation. But just at the end of the night, I go back to my place of where I'm staying at. And that's the beauty of it. I like my place where I can socialize and be active and have fun. But when I'm ready to turn down and do what I want to do, then I know that I can leave at my own leisure and rest. And that is one way when you solo travel to avoid being alone. You get out, you meet people, you network. So that is not true unless you don't want to be social. And that's simply on you. So another thing about solo travel and why I like it is because I do things when I'm ready. And let me tell you how that builds your confidence. One thing about solo travel and doing things when you're ready is reinforcing boundaries. And you may have never really thought about it like that. So a boundary is something that you put up or something that you enforce to let people know, don't cross that line, that doesn't work for me. Well, when you start doing things on your own timing, you're teaching people. You're not only teaching yourself because you're getting to know yourself, you're getting to know your flow, you're getting to know your vibe, but then that way you can better communicate with people on how you flow and how you feel, and that builds a self-confidence because you're better able to express that because you've spent enough time with yourself and okay, this is when I had enough. I'm ready to leave. Oh, I'm ready to stay. I'm not ready to go. These things happen because you're by yourself and you're asking yourself these questions, but you're also feeling these things in your body. Now, I never used to look at it that way, but for me, like, I like the idea when I go somewhere that I get up when I want to get up, and when I want to go out and I want to socialize and I had enough, I say good night, have a good time. I'll see you. I hope I see you next time, or if not, it was nice to meet you and I can go to bed. That is great because when you had enough, and it's teaching you more about yourself, and your boundaries and your limits, and you keep going. And anybody that is healthy will know that as a woman, and even just as a solo travel, don't even have to be a woman, that knowing what you want, asserting those boundaries, and being able to communicate that is actually really sexy. For me, it is. And so that's another reason why solo travel builds up so much of your confidence, because you are learning so much about you and yourself and what you like. And then another thing on why it builds your self-confidence is that it teaches you the things that you like and what you don't like. So you're spending so much time by yourself. You're like, I didn't like this food. I didn't like this theme park. I really like the museum. Because you are really, when you're solo traveling, is a form. It's a form of you dating yourself, because you're with yourself most of the time. And with that being said, it builds confidence so that you're able to know what it is that you like, but you're able to also let other people know what you like. And that builds confidence because you are sure and you are direct. And this is why solo travel produces so much self-confidence in so many different ways that you would have never, ever, 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 ever thought about. And I want to just tell you, when you are solo traveling, you are going on your own flow, on your own tune. And when you want to do things, it feels comfortable. It feels easy. And I know for me, like when I travel with people, especially when I'm going on vacation, like I want to feel like vacation. And I've gone on trips with women trips, and don't get me wrong, I do like to travel with other people, but we have to be on the same wavelength when we're traveling. You got one person that want to do one thing, you want to do another thing, then somebody may get mad because you don't want to do that. With solo traveling, you avoid all of that. You show up when you want to show up. You leave when you want to leave. You eat when you want to eat. If you want to take a little nappy, because I love my little nappies, you can do that. And that's another thing that I like about solo travel. Now, I just want to tell you, when you are doing any form of solo travel, whether it is domestic and international, you always want to do your research. You want to do your research on the laws. You want to do your research on the important locations that you need, or you want to make sure that you have the proper documents that you need. You always need to research where you're going to be going, your hotel. Make sure you just have those things, and make sure that you Google and make sure that you are prepared, because you just never know. Okay? So I just wanted to get on here, and I wanted to just talk about how self-confidence how solo travel builds your self-confidence. And I would encourage you to start small. If you could just take yourself out on a date, you could just take yourself out on the movies, if you could just take yourself on a nice cruise and enjoy it, and don't let these ideas of self-talk, oh, you're going to be bored, oh, something is going to happen. Like, the only way that you're going to push through the fear or get over the fear is do it. Book it. Okay? Do it. Book it. Live it. Love it. Okay? So, if you enjoyed this video, please put a thumbs up. If you have any questions, please comment below. And also, please like and share, and make it a great day.